Off this time for Reid out on the far wing. Reid will cut. Reid will cut to the net. Reid coming in. Score!
Sean Furfaro here in Aylmer, that's right, Aylmer, Ontario, and I'm here with Cameron Reid, first round draft pick of the Nashville Predators, 21st overall. First of all, how does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's still kind of weird to have that name to me, I guess, you know, to be a Nashville Predator, an NHL round pick. It's still kind of a little weird to me. I have to get used to that.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, Cam. You've been kind enough to invite us out here to your home to do this special feature interview, and I'm really excited to be here with you. And I really want to talk about your journey, like everything that took you to being that Nashville Predators draft pick, because I know this has been a pretty lengthy journey for you and a pretty rewarding journey for you. So let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
As early as you can remember, how'd you fall in love with hockey? Like, where did it come from?
Yeah, I think hockey was just in my family the whole time. Don't really remember exactly when, but I just know that I was watching my dad play hockey a few times, and then my brother especially. I think I watched him play hockey. He got into the game before me. I watched him. I kind of wanted to be like him, just kind of play hockey, see what it was all about. So that's all I really remember, and I kind of just every day kind of just loved hockey.
I love that just as humans, we're all kind of defined by our family and what we're exposed to, and we're going to get a chance to talk as a family in a little bit later in this special. But I love that you fell in love in this area around here, but you didn't actually always play here. You played a bit down here, Allegan County, Aylmer area, but then you went off to Lambton. So tell me about that.
Yeah, that was really fun. I mean, it's a far ways away, but it was really good. I loved Lambton. I loved the boys, the coaches, the organization, what it was all about. It was really fun for me, and I just had a ton of support there, and it was a really good time, really good, fun year. And then COVID hit, but it was a really good year, and a little bit so. There was a couple moments after the 1 year I was there. So, but it was really fun. I loved it.
So Lambton is one thing. It's a 90-minute hike from here. Yeah. But you want to talk about playing off in a distance. I know you played in Toronto for a while as well at the Brick, was it?
Yeah. That was kind of a summer thing. Yeah. So I think it was every Sunday we'd go out for practices, and we had a few tournaments here and there before the Brick tournament. But yeah, I think it was in the spring. I tried out for the Toronto Pro Hockey team. Didn't expect anything. Didn't know if I'd make it, and they kind of liked me, it seemed, and I made the team. And then yeah, it was just kind of flowed from there. And
anyone playing high-level hockey plays an element of travel hockey, but very few times do you get to travel as far as Italy. So tell me about the experience that brought you to Italy.
Yeah, Italy was unreal. That was something I'll remember forever. I mean, it's I think I was around 12 years old when I played in Italy, but it's just my first time ever kind of playing outside of North America. You know, we go to Italy. It's you're playing hockey, but you're kind of you know, taking it all in. It's about the food, the attractions, and I thought that was a really cool part. It was really unique. There was something special about Italy that I'll never forget.
Yeah, you're talking to an Italian. You don't need to sell this guy on Italy. We talked about that right before I went on the trip. I remember you telling me about your experience. You mentioned support when you went to Lambton. How important was it for you, even at a young age, to have people surrounding you that were aligned with what you wanted to do and how you wanted to proceed in hockey?
Yeah, they wanted me to reach my goals. I had so much support from like my teammates when we were little, to the coaches, to the parents, just people helping out, driving me to practices when my parents couldn't, or we doing the same for them. It was just a great support group there, and they just they pushed me to the best of my abilities, and I honestly think if I didn't get to Lambton, I wouldn't be who I am today.
So COVID hits, and you make the decision, you kind of touched on it briefly, to go down to BK Bishop Kearney, Rochester, New York. That's a big decision at 14, was it?
Yeah.
14 years old.
I think I committed when I was 13.
Yeah, so take me through the process of mentally preparing for what that was before actually making the physical move.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things that kind of went into the decision, but I just thought overall, obviously the hockey would be good. I kind of knew what I was getting myself into in the States, but I think it was just a lifestyle. Tried to prepare for my future. I knew if I wanted to go far in hockey that eventually I'll have to live away from home. I'll have to take care of myself, and I thought that was kind of a great thing to try to just try to live with when you're young. You know, get used to it when you're young, so it's not a surprise when you're older. So I loved it. I mean, just doing my own laundry. Just doing everything independent, waking up on time, going to bed on time.
So habits, routine, and
exactly.
overall lifestyle. As a 13-year-old making this decision, there's not a lot of 13-year-olds out there. So give me the why behind that. Was it because NHL is the ultimate goal and you want to build those habits now at this age?
Yeah, I thought whatever advantage I could have over others, I might as well take the opportunity to kind of thrive off of that. And I thought, there's a whole bunch of NHLers like Sidney Crosby, and then now you see like McDavid, like they're so professional that, you kind of want to be like them. And the first step to being professional is having those right habits and being just being prepared, I guess. And that was kind of the thing I looked at. And then plus I was getting the hockey every single day, and then the schooling part too, and thought it was all kind of a package together. And why not? That was kind of my mindset. It's why not take an opportunity like that.
It's interesting, Cam, when you describe it, like most people that would go in that situation, the hockey would be here and the lifestyle would be kind of the byproduct of it. But when you talk about this, and it's not the first time we've talked about it, it sounds to me like the lifestyle was the primary aspect and the hockey just came along with it.
Yeah. I would kind of say that. I mean, I just looked at it as hockey. Hockey is fun, and I want to get to far places with hockey, but you have to be a good person, and you got to know how to take care of yourself first. I mean, it was just simple things like I know when I'm older I'll have to know how to do my own laundry. I'll have to wake up on time. You can't rely on your parents or anyone else your entire life. And if I can learn how to do that while playing hockey and have fun and with a whole bunch of other kids my age, it's like having a sleepover and also learning how to take care of yourself at the same time.
Well, let's be honest now. It's just me and you now. Was the decision really just because there was a Chipotle in Rochester and not in Aylmer?
He got me.
Busted right there. Chicken bowl still?
No, I'm a wrap kind of.
You're a wrap?
Yeah.
I'm a double chicken bowl.
I'm a chicken wrap mostly. Sometimes steak. So.
I know when you grew up, I mean, we know what your skill is, and we can talk about it, and you're very humble, and I know you don't love to have these conversations about how good you are at hockey sometimes, but there were a lot of times where I know you were the best player on your team. So now you're making decisions where you're not the best player on your team, and you're learning from excellent hockey players. How important was that to your development, to challenge yourself to not be the guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's never a bad thing to not be the guy on a team. I always thought there's roles that make a team. I mean, when you look at the Florida Panthers who won the Stanley Cup this year, there's their third line, fourth line guys. They kind of were the difference makers in a lot of games. But I also look at it as you're not going to be the best player your whole life. I mean, unless you're the 0.1% McDavid out there, or maybe a Sidney Crosby, like then you'll be the best player, but you're going to have to learn how to adapt and learn different roles, and that's just only going to make you better. And it's just a part of life to, just kind of adjust and react to how what life throws at you.
So your time at BK was obviously a primary contributor in getting drafted as highly as you did in the OHL draft. We'll get to that in a minute, but now we've taken you right up to your OHL draft. So think about that time, Cam, and maybe tell me a couple of people who influenced you and taught you along the way and really helped you get to that point of OHL draft, priority selection day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my parents, been there my whole life, and my brother and every single family and friend, but it's the little things that people don't really realize, like my minor hockey coach, like when I was 8 years old here in Aylmer, Paul Stokely, like, best friends with Ryder and Chase. Their sons, and I play with them, but he was a coach that made hockey fun for me, and I always remember just how he made hockey fun. And Mike Mullis was another guy who I played with Cooper in Elgin, but Mike he taught me so many things about the mental side, and it's just simple things like the doctors around. They all kind of prepare you and help you, support you to get to where you want to be, and you're just so thankful for that.
So here we are in Aylmer, Ontario. You're in this Oxford, Elgin, Norfolk County little triangle, this lovely little triangle down here, and it's safe to say that most people down in this area are London Knights fans just due to geography. So OHL draft day comes and you get drafted by the hated rival. And you grew up a Knights fan, I know this.
Yeah, a little bit.
You get drafted by the rival Kitchener Rangers.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, that was, in the moment, I was just so happy to go to Kitchener because realistically, I know a lot of people around here don't like Kitchener, but I just know Kitchener was a great spot, and I was so happy to be kind of close to home, just to be a part of the OHL, to have the whole experience. And then kind of a couple minutes later, I think I got a text from one of my friends that they're saying, like, you're a rival now. It's pretty cool to think about it. I was just happy to be a part of the OHL and a part of a team and have that whole experience. But looking back at it now, it was something I probably should have thought about right then and there, or I would have been stoked for that, because I loved watching London growing up, and to be a part of an opposing team against London, I don't think it gets much better than that.
Well, in the interest of full disclosure, I do want to point out that we're strategically sitting in blue and red chairs, and we've left the green and the yellow chairs off to the side because we can't be having that color in a Kitchener Rangers Cameron Reid feature. Okay, so you get drafted by the Rangers. What were your first impressions of the Odd, of the community, of the team, of the culture as a whole there?
It was kind of, the arena was kind of big. I remember that's my first impression. I thought I was an NHL rink at first, and you kind of get used to the size now, but that was my first impression, how big everything was. And then when you walk into the locker room, and everything's just so like precise and very clean. It was all like shiny and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really awesome.
They treat you well.
Yeah, and they treat you well. So, the first time I saw all that, it was kind of really like shocking to me. And then you get playing in that, and it's like, holy smokes, like I'm living this, and everything was just unreal. Like, unreal is kind of the word to describe it.
I know you don't, for the most part, feel a lot of pressure in situations, but knowing that you were coming in at the same time an entirely new coaching staff was coming in.
Yeah.
Was there any apprehension, or how did that work out when you first met?
Yeah, I think, I got drafted, and I know they were looking for a head coach. Obviously, it was UC that they took a couple months later, but I kind of just went into the season just kind of appreciative of being able to play and have an opportunity in the OHL. And
so no stress at all going to dev camp and not knowing who your coach was going to be in a month or two.
Oh no, it was just really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's still really cool to think about it, to have this too. Like, this is all really cool, and just kind of thankful. It's a lot of kids, they don't get this opportunity, and I have an opportunity, but I also live it as well. So it's really just, it's fun for me. I really love it.
So development camp, remember, that's the first day we met. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I do.
We did our first interview at your development camp. What do you remember about that first development camp? Who stood out to you? Who came up and was like, hey, let me show you around. Let me tell you what it's like to be a Kitchener Ranger.
I don't really remember anyone in particular. I just remember Mike McKenzie kind of introducing himself, and I thought that was really cool, because that was kind of the big guy I was talked to a few times, but he was the one guy that, he had eyes on everyone during that camp. But honestly, it was probably you too. that was the big thing. I mean, just very welcoming. So that was pretty awesome, and being on camera for a first time, that was pretty cool too.
Well, you carried yourself pretty well for, I think you were still 15 at the time, or your 16th birthday was right around then.
Yeah, probably.
I think. And you answered some questions, and I remember said that this young man does not answer questions like this age. This is a seasoned pro, and you gave me some great answers. And right then, I met your family that day too, and here we are a couple years later. Okay,
yeah.
So playing in Kitchener, I want to ask you just a couple things. The fans. What does it mean to have fans like we have in Kitchener?
It's everything, to be honest. Kitchener wouldn't be where it is without the fans. The fans make up everything, and they're so loud, electric, positive too. They've always got your back. It's just, we're never really down in a game, or we're never really losing when we have those type of fans. It's even if we're down on the scoreboard, we're never really, because we know the fans got our backs, and they're always there for us, and we want to play for that, and that's kind of what makes us special, to be honest. It's the fans, so they're everything.
You and I talked about how fortunate you were in your first year to have a group of overagers as prominent as you had in Mitchell Martin and Matthew Sopp and Simon Motu. What did those guys mean to be around in your first year learning how to be in this league, and specifically being paired with Simon for most of the year and the bond that you two created?
Yeah, those three guys were everything. I mean, they all had different kind of roles, and you could look at all of them with different aspects on things. I just remember having Motts especially beside me, but also Sopper and Marty. They all had different kind of views on their careers, and they were different players, but they were all great guys that kind of were welcoming at first, and then they became your best friends during the year, and then they continue to be your best friends even after, and still to this day keep in contact with those guys, and they're always so supportive, and I'm so thankful, and everyone's so thankful to have those guys in the room. And when I just look back at it, those guys were leaders, and they had a huge influence and shaped me to the player I am today.
So you mentioned the word leader, right? And they shaped you as a player, but I know you've been a leader prior to being in Kitchener, and you're one of the leaders in that room now. All three of those guys we just mentioned were leaders in different ways, right? How did they make Cameron Reid a better leader in the Rangers room?
I think a better person. I think just watching them, especially throughout the first year, like I still watch them till this day, see how they carry themselves, see how they respect others. I think they were just so supportive for me, showed me the way that they kind of shaped me as a person, as a player. I mean, you watch them as a person and a player, they're the hardest working player on the ice, and they're the most respectful person off the ice too. And it's just the simple things that you watch them. You kind of I wanted to be like them, and I still do want to be like them. I mean, they're still my OAs till this day. I still look at them with the same eyes that, you know, they're still my leaders, and I look up to them. I still ask them questions and reach out, and no, they're always just going to be my leaders in my eyes.
Is that never going to change? Even like when you're in the NHL, these are still your OAs, the same way that you've had that connection with your billet family sort of thing?
Yeah, I don't think that will ever change. That will always just be in my mind. They're going to be leaders, and they've always had the answers for me. And you know, they're always a guy. All three of them are all guys I could go to for help, for a talk, for questions, and they still have answers every single day till this day. And I know they always will, but it's just the way I've kind of grown around them. They've helped me out so much that it's just almost impossible to not look at them as leaders. So I'm just very thankful that they're just always here.
So now as we get closer, you've got the draft combine, you've got workouts, you've got interviews, there's a lot of buzz. There's, I believe, 30 of 32 teams interviewed you.
Yeah.
What were the other two thinking, first of all? And then you get to LA. By the time you get to LA with your family, did you have an idea of who had established themselves as front runners and had said, we're really interested, we might want to, I don't know, trade up to get you if the situation arises? Did you have a couple of teams that had expressed vocal interest?
Yeah, I'd say a couple teams for sure that I had like an idea of, but I realistically went into that day not knowing a single clue. Like, I had a feeling for some teams, but at the same time I had zero feeling at all, because anything could change. You never know what could happen. There could be trades, there could be teams trading up, trading down. Anything could happen. I knew that, and from past experiences looking at the draft, it always happens every year. So that was kind of my mindset. I had feelings, but I had no clue at all.
Okay, so now go back to that moment. With the 21st pick, the Nashville Predators select from the Kitchener Rangers, Cameron Reid.
Yeah.
Take me through what you felt like.
Oh, that was, I just had a big breath of air. That was really it. I mean, I was sitting there for, I don't know, maybe a little longer than I anticipated or I hoped. But then once my name was just said, it's still speechless. You know, it's a feeling, and you're just kind of relieved and happy and just proud of all the work you put in, everyone that helped you get here. It's just, you do it for yourself, for them, and it's a dream come true. It really is, because it's all I really thought about when I was a kid, you know, to be drafted and have my name called, and it happened. It was just unreal.
What did it mean to you to know that Nashville traded up 2 spots because they weren't willing to miss out on you? They weren't willing to wait 2 more spots or even 1 more to not get Cameron Reid.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what could have happened if they waited, but for them to move up, like those little spots, it just made me feel wanted, to be honest. It made me feel pretty good. It still leaves me speechless, like just the whole scenario, how it happened. Like when it happened, I kind of popped out of my seat because I had a feeling Nashville really liked me, but I didn't know for sure, and I was just really open. They said my name, so
when they said from the Kitchener Rangers and you started jumping, you're like, well, maybe it's Luca.
Yeah.
No.
I thought Nashville was, when they made that trade, I had a feeling it was me.
Yeah.
My mom definitely did too, because she asked me if she wanted to hold my phone and my wallet. So I didn't really like that comment.
Moms know. Moms just know, right?
Didn't like that comment. I thought she was going to jinx it.
Yeah. So you looked fantastic. Let's start there. Top-notch customs. Gave you a wonderful suit, and you did your interview. I happened to be out with some friends, and we were watching the draft, and then they showed your jacket, and I think you've got your jacket here.
Yeah.
Let's grab your jacket.
Yep.
I want to talk through this jacket because I loved this moment when you were talking on the draft about this and what this meant to you. So here, I'll hold it open for you.
Okay, perfect.
And then you have photos in here.
Yep.
And I don't know if we can see this here. Maybe I'll do this. Yeah, maybe you can hold. We have some photos in here, and this is just a grid of. And what did you maybe you explain again? What do these photos mean to you?
Yeah, it's just it's all the people that have helped me get to where I am, shape me as a person, and it's family, friends, and old coaches, old teammates, teammates now, coaches now, anything. So it's just all the people that kind of supported me and got me to where I am today.
Take me through a couple of these here, because I see your brother on there. I see Cam Mercer on here. Show me a few of these.
Yeah. So. We got the defense, kind of some of the defense, plus Brad Flynn here.
Yeah.
Family up here. Rylan Singh, who roomed with me at BK, now plays in Guelph. Rome's Messall, and my parents here when I was a kid. And you can go down here, my girlfriend and I, and me and you right up
Look
here.
at that, eh?
Yeah, right
you got
there.
a couple of us on there.
Yeah.
The Halloween suit in
right
there.
here.
Yeah.
Me and Donovan down here, who my childhood best friend. Right up there. He lives 10 minutes away from here. We played in the same team.
And is your billet dog on here too?
Yeah, where's Harley? Harley's down here.
Yeah.
I see down, there's her.
This is your grandfather here too, right? You got an OHL history with Wayne there.
Wayne Reid, my dad's dad, so.
Well, this is just beautiful, and I mean, top-notch customs, you know, I got the link for it, so in case I want to get one, we'll throw that back over there and keep going. So that was great. I mean, I saw that it was a bit of a trend that people were having stuff like that, and I think it's pretty cool to acknowledge your past, you know. And you mentioned the moment you sit there and you hear your name and you realize, oh, it happened.
Yeah.
And then you think about all those people that helped you get there today.
Yeah.
And they're there with you right beside, like part of your body that day.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool, and it's just a reflection of how lucky I am to have all those people, and you know, I couldn't thank them enough, really.
Well, I mean, you've had hundreds and hundreds of people in your journey. I'll tell you, just being a small part of your last couple of years here, it certainly was. I felt very special to be included in there. So
it was awesome.
Thank you for putting those pictures in there. I really appreciate it. Okay, so after the draft, you do, I don't know, 2,000 interviews about everything. You hop on a plane, you go to Nashville, development camp. You're holding puppies. You're hanging out with Brady Martin. Let's talk about that, because you and Brady know each other well.
Yeah.
What was it like to go there together?
Yeah. Well, when I was drafted, I didn't really think about like, oh, Brady's here. You know, I was kind of just more focused on my name being called and the feeling and taking in all the bright lights and interviews and stuff. And I kind of realized, oh, Brady's there. And me and Brady, we played together ever since we were little. We played spring hockey together, I'd say around maybe the age of 6, 7, or 8 maybe. So just I've known Brady for a long time. He doesn't live too far away, just especially when I live in Kitchener. So he's a great guy, great player, and hate playing against him, but love playing with him. So I thought that was really cool, just to kind of regroup with him.
Did you have time to figure out where the Chipotles are in Nashville?
No, I mean, there was a Chipotle by our hotel, but there's also a Five Guys too.
Yeah,
so.
well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Nashville versus Kitchener. Similar, different?
Yeah, a little different. I mean, a little more warm in Nashville. That was the big thing. It was really hot when I went down for Dev Camp. Obviously, country music.
Your mom liked that.
Thing.
She liked that draft pick, didn't she?
Yeah. She loves country music. So that was the big thing. I love the city too. I've been down there before I was even drafted, and I love that. And it's just pretty similar. I just get a good vibe from both places.
So coming out of development camp, what does Nashville want to see in your game this season?
Yeah, I think just a little bit of compete. I think just kind of be the player I am, trust my abilities, and I think they just want to see an improvement of everything, improvement of defensive side, offensive, compete, everything you can think of.
So there's a lot to talk about. We've already talked about this. We got more to talk about. We're going to chat with the family, but do we have some time? Can you show me around Aylmer?
Of course, okay. I would love to.
I want to see some of the Cameron Reid hotspots in Aylmer.
Yeah,
okay?
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a walk.
Awesome.
How much time did you spend in the penalty box here?
Not
a lot.
Not much in that one.
Not a
Probably
lot. Not a lot. They play lacrosse in here?
Pickleball, I think, a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, you were a lacrosse player.
Yeah, I was.
Did you ever think about playing lacrosse instead of hockey, or both at the same time?
I played both, for a while, but, I was always hockey, to be honest, so.
So what was the team name here?
Aylmer Flames.
Flames?
Yeah, we were the Aylmer Flames, so. Yeah, we'd always go on that bench over there, and penalty box. That's sometimes I was in that, most of the time not, but.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean you don't take a lot of penalties.
Yeah. So.
This is kind of where you started, though.
Yeah.
Does this still feel like home more than any other place? When you come to this rink?
Yeah, I would say so. This is definitely where I've had I would even say this is overall I've been to this rink for games they added up. I'd say this is the rink I've been to the most for games too, and then definitely practices and even just training especially, because training I was here a lot during the summer. Sometimes there was a couple of years where my dad would have 6 hours of sessions in a row, and I would help out and I would train in some, and that would happen for a whole week or two or something like that. So
when you're playing in Lambton, or when you're playing in Rochester, or even when you're playing in Kitchener, and at times like now when you're home for the summer, to have a rink 10 minutes from the house.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can imagine how many times you've carved up that ice.
Yeah. It's I'm always here. I mean, this is I remember things for every single dressing room and every single spot in this place. This is special. This is it's a really cool rink, and I spent a lot of time here.
So you're not far from St. Thomas. When you go
only 30 minutes.
When you go into St. Thomas, what does the sign say? Home of Joe Thornton.
Yeah.
You think someday Aylmer is going to say home of Cameron Reid underneath?
I hope so. I'll have to live up to big expectations for that, but.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah,
no pressure at all. No pressure.
No, I'm hoping that would be unreal.
Yeah. Look at that.
I'd go like that. But yeah, this is the spot right here.
This was your mini stick spot.
Because this would be really good. But
so how many kids would you get over here?
Oof.
20?
During Spitfire, so the junior C team, there's around 20, maybe 30. It depends on the game, but.
Look at this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of kids practice and stuff, I guess. Before games, they'll just rip a puck, but
this here, they're just ripping their pucks.
Yeah.
In your garage at your house, there's some marks like this on the wall.
Yeah.
So how many pucks did you rip in that garage?
Yeah, thousands, maybe a million. It was nuts.
Now I saw a couple of marks.
Yeah.
That maybe were patched up, but no car damage, no light damage ever.
No, nothing. I got lucky.
Yeah, hold on. What's going on here? I know him. I totally know him. Where are these from?
That's
First round pick,
yeah.
gold medal
Just newspaper, yes.
from Copenhagen. Like, what do we say, Copenhagen or Aylmer? We say Copenhagen. It's more
Copenhagen's
accurate.
That's a small,
more accurate.
Yeah. People know Copenhagen around here.
Yeah.
They don't know Copenhagen.
That's like when you go to Italy and they ask where you're from and you say Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? Because,
I'd say Canada.
yeah. Okay, so here we are in size. This is an Aylmer institution. I've been here before.
Yeah.
And when I was here the first time, I actually showed this on one of our broadcasts.
Yeah.
Can you, here, you go in,
Yeah.
and then Ryan, I'll let you go in and show this.
Yeah.
Where's that young man?
I'm the only one without a hat.
Look at that guy right there.
Yeah, only one without a hat on.
Look at that. And
That's
who's that beside you?
Renee Van Bommel, right beside me on the left.
From the London Knights?
Yeah.
Now, I heard a story that, what did you think Renee's first name was when you first started playing with him? I heard you thought his name was Grenade.
Yeah, Grenade, yeah.
You're playing with a kid named Grenade.
I think my mom probably thought that before me.
Maybe that story got exaggerated over time?
Yeah, this one over here.
Oh yeah, look at this guy right here. Oh, you're in my office.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was first year. I remember that. I think
What were you getting, first star?
Yeah, I think it was a top 3-star for sure.
Yeah.
I think that was my first time.
Look, Sopper's behind you. He's already been on the ice,
Yeah.
so you're second or first for
Oh,
sure.
it's probably first then. Soffer's usually first. So.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, and you go behind.
What do you
here.
remember about that when you got your first 3 stars? Like the people that stay and cheer for you.
Yeah, how loud it is.
What's the adrenaline like?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was loud for like a preseason game. I remember my first preseason game, I got a star, and I went out and I was like, "Whoa, this is loud!" But then like everyone stays for like your first actual game of a star, and it's just crazy.
What's
loud.
it like? What's it like? I say it all the time because the guys tell me. But what's it like being behind the door and hearing the crowd ready to go, like just before the goalie hits the door on the way out?
Yeah, it's like your ears are being covered, and then it's just like someone just lets go, and then you just everything, and then you're in it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like a game that you're prepared for, but you're not prepared for. It's like you don't know what you're getting yourself into in a way.
Have you seen any of the changes that are going to be happening, like where
bit.
the silver door was?
Yeah.
It's going to be fun
It's
this
gonna
year.
be fun. It's gonna be
gonna
really
be fun.
good.
Okay, I'm going to step out of the way and show me what we got over here.
Yeah. So this is I think this is during preseason, but this is a good flick. Just my second year. Yeah, it's just it was a.
Against Erie again. Look at this.
Yeah, against Erie.
Always against Erie, huh?
Oh yeah, everything's always against Erie.
All right, so Cam, earlier you talked to me about the importance of family, and your family has been kind enough to join us here, so I am thrilled to welcome Tanya, Ethan, and Bill. I want to talk about this unit as a whole, but Cam, maybe I'll start with you. So Ethan, let's get Cam mic talk for a sec. A family unit here, how important has this unit been to your hockey career and the support they've given?
Yeah, the most important. They're the ones that drove me to to all the arenas. I think that's the most important part. They fed me. They gave me a place to sleep. I mean, I don't think I would be surviving right now if they weren't here. Just like it would be for a lot of people. But the hockey part, especially, just making sure I'm to the practices, the games on time, feeding me, putting clothes on me, just giving me a good support to give me the best chance to succeed.
What does it mean to look up in the stands and see them there? Like, what is that? I mean, you mentioned the physical things they do, but the ways they support you by just being.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see them in the crowds, so they're too big. So, but yeah, always seeing them in the crowd just support me and be there for me. It's fun for me. It makes it a lot more special, and I would think it would be fun for them too. But you never know. Maybe they.
You never know. Yeah. All right, Ethan, let's start with you because I know you're a couple years older than Cam, and I know you played hockey as well. And I got a quote about your hockey career. I said, I was told you loved the game, but for the most part, you wanted to go to A&W first. So tell me about your hockey journey. And I don't want to, drop any names on who told me that, but it was Bill.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. What was your hockey experience like?
My hockey experience was, I'd say for lack of a better word, a very calm and friendly experience. Like most of my growing up and hockey experience wasn't so much competitive as it is for Cam, but it was more so just about going out and having fun with friends and family a lot of the time, right? So
the social element, right?
Yeah, it was more
and
so
learning how to be a teammate, right?
Yeah, and all the time it was just about having a good time, really. Like, especially when I was hitting that age just before COVID and, you know, late elementary school, early high school years. It was like pretty much all just for going out and having fun with friends, because, you know, being out in the country, it's hard. Like, when they're driving Cam to practice or even driving me to practice, it's a little hard to just get out with friends every now and then.
There's a lot of miles in those cars.
There's a lot of miles, for sure. So that was definitely a huge thing. It was a great way to see everybody after school, and, you know, a lot of times, a lot of the kids you were friends with, you grew up playing hockey with, didn't go to the same school as them because we all lived so far apart, right? But it was definitely a great way to connect with people, and just made it a great experience overall. So yeah, friends.
What's it been like watching his progression as a hockey player?
Oh, it's been incredible. I always like to say that he stole my number from me.
You get into my next question, so this is great.
Oh, this is yeah. So no, it's always been really exciting to see him excel, you know, throughout his hockey career, because it's one thing to play in the kind of leagues that I did, where it was more so just friends, and, you know, usually you had a lot of beginners, right? Like, there was the people who had grown up playing hockey ever since they were young, but then, you know, in high school you would convince people, hey, you should, you know, come play and everything like that. So there was that aspect of hockey, but then there was getting to witness his aspect of hockey, where you've got a ton of kids who are absolutely, like, they are incredibly talented, and just getting to watch that competition, even as a sibling or a family member, right, a parent, it really is something that's incredible. And it's really I don't know what the word is exactly, but you're proud of them, almost, like, just watching him grow. You're growing with them, I guess. Sure.
That's a great way of putting that. You mentioned he stole your number, and the day that I met Cameron, I asked why he wore 18, and he told me the story. So tell me how the 18 got passed from Ethan to Cam.
Well, when we were both younger, and when I was younger and he was, you know, learning how to play hockey, I would like to say that you looked up to me. Yeah, I don't know how you feel, but that's what I'm gonna say. You looked up to me.
You're the one with the microphone, so we're gonna stick with
that's right. Yeah. So that's set in stone. You looked up to me playing hockey, and I feel like that you and I being relatively close in age, 3 years, it definitely helped for me being a bit of a role model for him. And I think that, you know, you just wanted to kind of follow my lead at the time until you got better than me, and that you just wanted, you wanted my number. Yeah. So you ended up taking it, and actually it kind of worked out, because I think the exact same year that you chose to do number 18, I switched to number 2 for, you know what? It's a reason I can't remember.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, does he get a royalty when the 18 jerseys get sold at the odd? And
no, he gives me royalties when he creates a business. You know.
Yeah. Last question for you, Ethan, before we move on to your parents here. I remember a game where you were chosen for the shootout in between periods, and I remember you scored during that shootout, and I remember there being a bit of trash talking that one of the brothers got a goal in that game and one of the brothers did not get a goal at the odd in that game. Is there still a little bit of chirping with that?
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of chirping. Yeah, it was definitely a hilarious experience overall, you know, having friends and family there. I remember my one buddy, he was at the bar in the odd there, and he's like, I'm gonna boo you. And when I was taking my shot, all I could hear from the crowd was woo. And then, you know, when it went in, crowd just erupted, and I immediately thought, Cam's gonna hate this. So,
and we've talked about it, and he does.
Oh yeah, that's right. So after the game, I remember going over to you and telling you, Kim, what did I say? At least one lead got a point that game.
Yeah, it was the shootout. It was the shootout.
Yeah, the shootout. That's right. Yeah. So it was.
I think the next time he chirps you about it, though, you just pull out that Predators jersey.
Yeah.
and show him that.
You know what? It would be really fun if somehow I get chosen this season, And I could honestly, I don't know if the coach would let it happen, but if I get Cam out there and we have a little competition to see who shoots it better.
Okay, game up staff. You heard it right here. Set it up, okay?
That's right, yep.
Okay, thanks, Ethan. We're going to go on to Bill. Bill, I'm going to let you take the microphone. Hockey's been in your blood. I know hockey's been in your blood. You and I have talked a lot off camera. Where'd that come from?
I just, growing up, my whole family played hockey, and I have 2 older brothers, and we started at a fairly early age, similar to Cam. We started skating at 3 years old, and that was just something that was always ingrained in us as a family as time went on. And we all kind of went in different directions. Like my 2 older brothers never went to post-secondary school, so they graduated high school and got jobs and went on to work, and they still love playing a ton of hockey to this day. But I decided when I got into university, it wasn't for me to continue on with that, and I just got right out of it at that time. And I ended up going to school, and I was really interested in the academic side of things. So I focused on that. And it was interesting because I was out of it kind of for a period of time until obviously, had the kids and we grew our family. And then I just had an interest in getting back into it. And it's something that, like, it's not just seeing the success and development of the kids, like my kids, but all the kids that I've developed over the years. So I've been back in it doing development for about 13 years.
So I know you're big into training and development, and that's such a huge part of the game. But to you, is that equally or more important than the skill required to play high-level hockey?
Well, I think it's obviously a mix of both and a number of other things to play at the highest level. I mean, you have to obviously have the skill, but you have to have the drive and the work ethic and the commitment. And it's interesting because for several years that I did development, a lot of my area of focus was on the skill because the kids were so young, you didn't really have that level of engagement. But the last several years, since Cam's been playing at a higher level, it's allowed me the opportunity to develop a lot of other players that are playing in the OHL and some that have went professional. And I really, really embrace that because it's not about developing the skill for those players. It's about allowing them the platform, the foundation to develop their skill. So that engagement and building up relationships is really important.
So stepping aside from somebody who would be involved in training and development, that Bill, and putting on the dad hat for just a sec, you got to coach both of these guys at different times.
Yeah.
What was that like, not as a developer, but as a dad?
Well, it was awesome. And, I coached them only up until they were about 8 or 9 years old, I think. And I was coaching them at a very young age because we didn't have a lot of coaches in the small town organizations. And when they started to get older, I thought it was really important to allow others to coach them through their experience as they got older. But to coach them at that time, it was just phenomenal. Like I was, kind of coaching them, quote unquote, in instructional type novice. But I had a lot of variances around the experiences, right? Like I had a player like Ethan who, when he was at that age and I was going through that coaching experience, a lot of it was that fun and that, he enjoyed playing the game, being around his friends and things like that. Cam, even at a young age, I found he was very, very competitive. And we just had this conversation last week with somebody that we were talking to, and I said it was really interesting because when you're competitive when you're really young and immature, it's different than when you're competitive when you're immature. Sure. And I just found like seeing the evolutionary growth of them through that experience was phenomenal. And I loved it at that time, the coaching, but then I started to get into development more. And I continued with that development. Cam was on the ice with me a lot over the years, but we also both mutually found it was beneficial to do other things. Yeah. So he, to this day, he does a lot of development with a lot of other developers out there. And I think it's huge for his growth and his success.
Yeah, I asked the question because I know that my son played hockey and his journey was similar to yours, Ethan. And he did it for fun and he did it for enjoyment. And I got to coach him for 2 years. And to me, I was on a coaching staff where people were like, well, we're going to develop this and we're going to develop that. I didn't come here to be a door opener. And I said, I did. My job is to open the defense door and say, great job. And that was really all I did, but I got to have that time. So there's a parental value to having that.
Well, it's a really good point you make because something else that happened over the years, like I remember Ethan, your last 2 years playing in Port Stanley, and we had cases of like an assistant coach or a trainer whose kid was on the team and got hurt and was out the season, and they needed somebody to step in. And so the head coach, I remember, called me and said, do you mind, like I know you're really busy, do you mind being on my bench? And I said the same thing. I said, I don't mind at all. I'll help out, but I just want you to know you're the head coach.
Yeah.
And I can help. And I thought it was really interesting because you don't know this either, but when Cam was drafted, I got a text from him. Which, yeah, I hadn't heard from him since you played like years ago, right? So that was really cool.
Well, your hockey family is so big. And yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about family, when I asked about your exposure to hockey, and you mentioned your family. I know your dad had a big hockey history, and then a bit in this league as well. Maybe talk a bit about
Yeah, so my dad, I mean, it's interesting. We kind of followed the same path. So we took a break for several years from the game, and he was the trainer for the Dallas Blackhawks back in the late 1960s, early 1970s, and they were the farm team of the Chicago Blackhawks back then in the Central Hockey League, and that was before I was born. But my two brothers and I, when we were born in the late 60s, early 70s, he took a number of years off of hockey as well, and he kind of worked, in the factories to kind of, support the family. And then I think it was around, I'll date myself here, but it was around the mid-1990s, he got back into it as the equipment manager with the Niagara Falls Thunder, and then relocated with Erie in 96, 97, and continued on with them until about, it was the early 2000s anyways. And he got out of it, early 2000s, he was getting a little bit older. But it was interesting because like Dan Liebold and him, like I remember back then because I was in my early 20s, I believe, and Dan was just breaking into the OHL. We're talking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I always remember Dan because of my dad's relationship with him, and he was super well respected. And I remember my dad talking fondly of him over the years, so that was kind of cool.
And Cam, I remember you threw out the mic there. I remember you telling me when you first came to Kitchener, Dan mentioned that he had known your grandfather. What did that mean to you to have that connection right there?
Yeah, well, it's you kind of get to a point now where like as the years go on, it's less likely you'll meet someone that kind of knows of grandpa like that. So to be able to know someone but also kind of work with Dan, who knew grandpa and kind of knew him pretty well as
they're contemporaries, right? Yeah,
kind of got mentored in a way by my grandpa, and now I get to see Dan. I almost see Dan as like my grandpa. I never really got to know grandpa all that well. He passed away when I was young, but you hear stories and stuff, and I got to see Dan, and it's kind of just like watch my grandpa, which is really cool. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Tanya, time to talk to you. And now the first question for you. Here they are. You've got 3 boys in hockey.
Yes.
What's that life been like for you?
Well, I grew up in a sports family too, so all my boy cousins played hockey. It was just the natural. All the girls figure skated.
Love, I'm so proud of you.
And then my sister started playing ringette. I'm gonna be emotional.
It's okay.
This is gonna be
This is
emotional.
me.
That's okay.
I don't know why. Anyways, that's what we did. But my dad was a non-parent coach forever, and my grandma lived literally right next door to the Tolstoy Arena, so we were rink rats. Like, we were there all the time. We were at the arena. My mom was busy taking university courses. We would go and hang out while my dad was running practice, right? We were around hockey. We were there, so it was always...
So this is old hat to you. You're used to it. Yeah.
It was kind of a given. Having said that, I played ringette 1 year, so I knew how to put the equipment on, right? But I wasn't very good. My sister's way better. Shout out to Tara. Yeah, it was just kind of a natural that they were gonna skate. It's kind of like you're gonna swim, you're gonna skate, because that's what kids do in our area, and I grew up in this area, so that's what everybody does, and that's just kind of there. I had to learn how to do the equipment, but now I can do goalie equipment, and I can do everybody's equipment. Yeah, it was just like a sports family, and that's what we do, and that's what all of our family does.
So
Natural.
Yeah, it seems natural. And the one thing I noticed about you, and Cam and I have talked multiple times, and in this special we talked about it, how there's a spider on that. There's as for someone who's arachnophobic, I handled that quite well. I'm just gonna say, the day that Cam and I met, you and I met right before Cam and I met for the first time. You came up and introduced yourself to me, and in the time I've gotten to know you, you're a people person. I can just tell how you love building the connections with people. So in Cam's journey in Kitchener, what has it meant to you to meet some of the people you've met? Other families, other players, right? And because I see how you embrace it, and you're kind of just this central, energy source that everybody is drawn to.
Thank you. But that's what hockey is for me. It's getting to know the families. It's getting to know who my kid spends a lot of time with. I like to get to know the boys, and Cameron indulges me by taking me around and introducing me to the boys that I don't already know, or that I haven't had a chance to get to know. So anytime there's new kids, I'm making sure Cameron introduces me. But that's where my child is. That's where he is, and I like to know who he's spending a lot of time with, and building those relationships. Some of our best friends.
When I see you all after the game, or when I see you all outside of the rink, it's not that this is the Reid family and this is the Andonovski family and this is the Mercer family. It just seems like it's one big family. And you talk to me about how tight the room is all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not reading that wrong, right? Like the families are all like that.
It is very much. And Captain Mercer actually told me just recently that it didn't always used to be like that, which is weird for me. Like that would be so strange for me not to know who I'm sitting beside or who we're spending so much time with. So it's kind of who we are. Like, we like to get to know people. We like to learn their stories and hear more about them. And we're spending a lot of time with each other.
Yeah, sure.
Like, lots of times we'll drive to wherever the game is, not necessarily just Kitchener. And other families are there. Other billet families are there. So, of course, you're going to introduce yourself if you haven't met already. But we spend a lot of time at the arena, so we might as well know some people while we're there.
We did a bit of a funny, like a comedy feature last year where I asked how many times you shoot the puck when people say, shoot the puck. And Cam said, I know my mom's yelling shoot the puck up there sometimes. But what's it like watching him? I mean, I've sat with you for games before.
Yes.
How stressful is it watching him on the ice?
I'm told I'm a bit of a yeller. I always have been. Actually, my mom will say I'm better. I don't yell as much in Kitchener, because perhaps they did when they were younger and I knew they could hear me. But it is stressful sometimes, especially if he decides that he's going to get into a fight. We were talking about this earlier.
Well, sometimes
today.
you got to protect your defense partners.
Yeah,
right?
I get it. It's stressful, but it's also super exciting. I love hockey. Like, we will go and watch. We always had a great time with Ethan. Cameron's was obviously more serious, but Ethan's was a blast.
Mine was just a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where other parents were heckling our own team players if they made a mistake, and it was a blast. But we had fun.
I'm going to apologize to you right now, because when you mentioned how you don't want him to fight, we're probably going to put some footage of him fighting someone right in that exact moment.
Let's go.
So sorry for that.
That I get nervous about just from I paid a lot of money for those teeth. I like them to stay that way, Cameron.
Now, someone told me once, I don't remember which one of you it was, that I've met your mom at games before, but I don't know, I've maybe met your dad a couple times, but I hear he stays home more because he likes to watch our broadcast.
Yes, he loves it.
He must have watched me more than you sometimes.
Probably.
He likes to hear the comments, and especially if he knows the arena's going to be super busy.
Yeah.
He likes his quiet and space so he can pay attention and not have people bugging him.
That's great.
But he does enjoy all of your broadcasts.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I'm glad to hear that. I know that Cam's a great skater, okay? So we've got development, we've got a hockey history. The little birdie told me there's some figure skating in the family, and it comes from your side?
It does. Yeah, my two cousins, Stacy and Sherry Gall, we're like world and Olympic figure skaters, and that's what we do.
So where'd you get your skating from, Mom or Dad?
Definitely not him. I got it from Ethan, actually.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go. Yeah.
Actually, all three of them skate very similar. Cameron just is a lot lighter on his feet, but I say like all of the Tilton skating genes, because my sister, my cousins, Stacy and Sherry obviously, but my other cousins, they're all wonderful skaters, and I am not. So I think all of that Tilton skating gene just stayed in me and was passed on to Cameron.
Well, I'll tell you, just just stepping out of my host role for a second, it's been great getting to know you individually and as a family. And hockey is traditionally like the boys' club. It's like it's for history. That's the way it is. But I say any family is only ever as strong as their matriarch. And you are not only the matriarch of this family, but I see you as the matriarch of this entire Rangers family. I thank you for everything you bring to the rink. And to all of you, thank you for taking some time and helping talk about Cam's journey.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Cam, so we've looked around Aylmer, we've talked to the family, we've talked about your journey. Last couple questions, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yep.
the last 2 years, team has exceeded expectations. Maybe not the expectations of the team in the room, but definitely the expectations outwardly.
Yep.
This year, there's a lot of expectations. How much are you looking forward to playing with that sort of expectation for the team?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, both years I've been there, I know a lot of people, the outsiders have thought we weren't going to be a good team at all, and we ended up being one of the top teams, and that happened both years. So we're going to have expectations from us and everyone outside of us to be a great team, and I'm confident we will be. And it's exciting to see kind of what we can do, and it's always exciting, and we won't disappoint.
You and I have talked at length in the past about your work ethic and where it comes from. Like I, at the risk of being repetitive, I see you one of the first ones out of practice, one of the last ones off. I see you picking up pucks as an NHL drafted defenseman. How early in your career do you remember doing all of those things to build good habits?
Yeah, I think it's just being a good person first. I mean, if you're a good person and you have the right mindset, then you're going to be a good player. And I think there's nothing wrong with picking up pucks or putting in the extra work. I think it's just it's always good if you do that. So it's just a mindset where I think you might as well do that. So you can be a better person, a better player that way.
I was told when you were maybe 11, 12 years old, you would set your alarm to get up in the morning to work out before you actually went to school.
Yeah, that was elementary school for a couple of years. I don't remember exactly how long, but yeah, I just thought, why not just get up early before school and get some work in and see how much push-ups or lunges I can do. And
just like all elementary school kids would do,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, well, it's just something I can do to kind of be better than everyone or all my competition. I wanted to be the best player I can be, and that was something that would help me out. So just thought it would be a good idea.
Do you ever remember a time where you didn't have that drive, that want to see the path and see the line at the end?
No, not really. I mean, I don't really remember. I always just wanted to win and be the best I can be. I had a mentality. It's why not? Some people might ask why, but I always thought, why not?
On that note, I got something here I want to show you. It's a little birdie gave me. This here was something that I think was made 12 years old, 11 years old?
A while ago.
Yeah, so this says Cam R, hockey, your name, and this is the path?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is your path? So take me through what this is here.
Yeah, well, it was just kind of the benchmarks of stuff to succeed, so...
So you pull your pencil out, and you got one piece of paper, start playing hockey, done. Novice rep in Aylmer, done.
Yeah.
AAA team, done. The Brick, done. 07AA team, done. OHL or NCAA, and thanks for picking that first one, by the way. You have not yet checked off done, so you might need to update this down the road. And then with stars around it, the NHL.
Yeah.
So you made this when you were 11 years old?
I don't remember when, but just something I need to...
And this mindset that you still have that says, read it for me?
Yeah, try your hardest every time.
Try your hardest every time.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Pretty impressive, Cam. I'm really excited. I think this is a real testament to the young man you've become and the player you've become, to know that this early you were making something like this. And I thank your dad for letting me show you this as a bit of a surprise.
Thank you.
And I am excited to see you check off that last one down the road.
Yeah, we'll just work hard, try your best, right?
Thanks for always taking time, and thanks for always being open to a chat with me, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.